Hello, my name is Gareth, and this is Jessica Clement. We are with the HUB Online Network. Sorry, we're just trying to get through some technical issues at the moment. Anyway, yeah, there we go, that looks better. We're here to talk about Ashcroft and Cache Creek and the COVID-19 pandemic and what's happening in our area. So we're going to take a look at Ashcroft and Cache Creek, the Thompson Okanagan as a whole, then the province, and then Canada. We've been trying to stay up to date as much as possible with everything that's been going on. And we have a bunch of different press releases and updates from the area. So we're just going to start with some local updates. Jessica is monitoring live chat, so if you have anything that you would like to chime in with, please, you can type away on Facebook, and Jessica will get back to you with responses.
I will.
So, just a few things that have been postponed and or is not happening anymore. So, the Rotary Citizen of the Year Awards has been postponed until further notice. Starhouse Restaurant has suspended their weekend buffet. Unitea has canceled all upcoming shows. As of after today, the Ashcroft HUB will be closing its doors to the public. We will still be able to provide HON, we'll still be doing these HON updates from the HUB, but it will be closed to the public.
All services.
All services.
No gym, no classes, no spring break classes next week for kids.
The actual update says that the HUB will be doing daily monitoring of the COVID-19 news, following any recommendations from reliable sources. They have canceled the choose to move and acting. So anyway,
everything.
This is actually an update from yesterday. So this is how fast things are changing with this COVID-19 pandemic. Yesterday it was just a reduction of a lot of things, but as of today we're going to be closing the doors to the HUB. So that's one update done.
Oh, my mouse doesn't work on this thing since Charlene cleaned it so nicely with her Norwex that it's too shiny.
I'll trade you for that in a second. In Cache Creek, public notice. The Cache Creek Fitness Center will also be closed starting today, March 17th. They will reassess the situation at the end of March and update at that time. They apologize for any inconvenience. Now let's switch out. More. So the staff from the Safety of the Village of Cache Creek will be canceling any community events that may need more than 50 attendees. This includes all bingos. They will reassess the situation at the end of March. We have a full memo from the Village of Cache Creek. So at this time, as of March 17th, actions taken by the Village of Ashcroft to minimize the spread of COVID-19 in our community. Ongoing provisions of essential and municipal services. So 1, the water treatment plant. Most public works staffs have training to operate the water treatment plant. There are 2 members of staff that primarily operate the water treatment plant. However, if any isolation is required, other staff have adequate training to ensure that the water supply is available to residents. 2, sewer treatment plant. There are 2 trained public works personnel that operate the sewer treatment plant. Cross-training procedures have been established to ensure adequate public works staff will receive training to operate the system. So they're training people now to make sure that people will be available to maintain these services. Garbage. Most public works staff are trained and have the licensing to operate the garbage truck. If staffing becomes an issue, this will be the first service to be suspended. Office operations. Office hours and operations remain status quo, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. To protect staff and public, stringent cleaning practices are in place. Commonly touched surfaces are disinfected throughout the day, and custodial practices have been increased. Now this is going to be a theme throughout a lot of these, is that everybody is doubling down on their cleaning services and what they consider safe cleaning practices. So a lot of extra hand sanitizer is going to be used to be wiping down surfaces and such. If necessary, programs are in place to allow some members of staff to work from home if necessary. We are encouraging residents not to visit the office unless absolutely necessary. If you wish to make a payment, your options are to contact your financial institution and set up electronic fund transfers or send them a check. Council meetings. At this time, council meetings remain as scheduled. Chairs in the gallery will be placed further apart to encourage social distancing. Technology is in place if that necessary. Video council meetings can be held. Now we will be, so what I'm actually hoping is that nobody goes. The council members go and we go so we can film it for people to watch.
I was just going to say, you can stay home and watch it in your pajamas the next morning.
So if you were planning to go to the council meetings, maybe think about not doing it and just watching it on the HUB Online Network. Speaking about the HUB Online Network, we are going to be canceling all of our in-studio interviews.
Yep.
We do have an interview with our MP, Brad Viss, tomorrow. We will be doing that over Skype. And next week we have one with our MLA, Jackie Taggart. We'll also be doing that via Skype. So no more in-studio interviews. We are canceling our our kid volunteers that come in once a week.
Yeah.
So we can stay as healthy as possible to bring updates to you guys. More from the Village of Ashcroft. The Ashcroft Community Hall. The village will not be scheduling any more public events at the hall. User groups that use the facility on a weekly basis may continue to do so at this time. However, the groups have been asked to disinfect all commonly touched surfaces prior to leaving after each use. Cleaners and towels are provided by the village in the usual locations. The kitchen is not open for use. Recreational facilities. The village will continue to monitor the situation. Parks are open, however, bathrooms will remain closed until further notice. The pool, museum, and visitor center are currently closed for the season. The public will be advised if or when these facilities will open. The village will continue to monitor the COVID-19 situation and make changes to our practices as necessary. We encourage residents to follow the advice of the BC Medical Health Officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry. For more information, please see the links provided below. Now, once we're done this video, I will put these links into the description so you guys at home can check those links out.
Awesome.
This letter is also available on the Village of Ashcroft website, so you can go there as well. A message from our local MLA, Jackie Taggart, regarding COVID-19. So given the current status of the COVID-19 outbreak, we are taking the following precautions to adapt to the growing global concerns regarding this pandemic and to protect the public and our staff's health. So they'll be closing the office. Staff will be on site, but we are not taking any in-person meetings at this time. You can call them at 250-453-9726 or email them at jackie.taggart.mla@leg.bc.ca. Sorry, I don't have them popping up on the screen right now. I didn't have enough
We'll put
time
them all
to.
in the comments.
They will also not be participating in events and engagements until the public health risk is reduced. We apologize for any inconvenience these measures might cause, but are exercising the abundance of caution to keep the public and staff as safe as possible. We will be using email, telephone, and every other remote working tool to support constituents and continue our day-to-day work. For the most accurate and up-to-date information on COVID-19, please visit the website for BC Centre of Disease Control, which we will again post in the description. What else do we got here? So, and I apologize for all the reading. I don't have all this stuff memorized. I'm just all of these things we found on either the internet, websites, Twitter, were sent to us from being part of the media. They're sent as a media package. So yesterday, there was a joint statement on BC's COVID-19 response and latest updates. So, in Victoria, Adrian Dix, Minister of Health, and Dr. Bonnie Henry, BC's Provincial Health Officer, have issued the following joint statement regarding updates on the novel coronavirus. So, in quotes, we are deeply saddened to announce that 3 people have tested positive for COVID-19 have recently passed away. all of whom were residents of the Lynn Valley Care Home, which I believe is in Vancouver.
So the total as of today is 4, but I think that included the one previous.
In BC?
And then the 3, yeah.
How many people have been currently tested positive?
The total number of cases in BC as of today is 103.
Okay.
According to that one, yeah.
So they are also announcing 30 new cases of COVID-19. Again, this is as of yesterday, for a total of 103 cases in British Columbia. The individuals are in the Vancouver, Coastal, Fraser, Interior, and Island Health regions, and were confirmed positive based on BC Centre for Disease Control testing. 6 people have confirmed positive, that are confirmed positive or in acute care. 5 have fully recovered, which is a positive, and all others are self-isolating at this time. A significant number of new cases are related to the Pacific Dental Conference 2020 held in Vancouver Convention Centre on March 6th and 7th. So we were asking anyone who attended to self-isolate until March 22nd, 2020. So a lot of this stuff does have to deal with things down at the coast, so I'm not going to be too worried about that. But British Columbians can reach service representatives 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. by calling 1-800-COVID-19. We've also taken additional action to enhance social distancing and limit transmission. These efforts are not forever, but they are important for now. And then there's a bunch of emails that, again, you can go to learn more. So a little bit more from Jackie Taggart. So, to the residents of Fraser Nicola, as the coronavirus pandemic progresses across the world, we have witnessed the terrible human toll in China, Iran, and Italy, and the disease continues to take lives in dozens of countries. While we can be thankful to have a publicly funded high-quality system of healthcare here in British Columbia, we cannot be complacent or rely upon the hospitals and healthcare workers as the only way to deal with this epidemic. All of us must do what we can to stop the transmission of the virus from person to person so that we can defeat this epidemic. As a community, each of us have a responsibility to those most vulnerable to the virus, those with compromised immunity and seniors, in addition to the risk from the virus. We must consider the anxiety and isolation that the next few weeks will bring to many of our neighbors. This is especially true of seniors living on their own. Please make a point of contacting your neighbors without getting too close and checking that they are okay. If all of us call one of our immediate neighbors every day, we will have a safer and healthier community. If we do our part, we can help to bring an early end to this epidemic. With that goal clearly in mind, my colleagues in the legislature and I have adopted a number of steps to reduce the spread of the virus, including personal contact. The provincial health officer has advised that we avoid shaking hands or any physical contact, maintain a minimum distance of 1 meter from everyone outside of your family, and please do not leave your home if you are ill. Do not travel other than in an emergency. Limit your contact with public surfaces such as touchscreen terminals and payment machines, and avoid public events with sizable gatherings of people. What to do if you feel ill? If you are sick, please stay home, rest, and avoid contaminating others. You should seek medical care as you see fit, just as you would with any contagious illness, but you may be directed to stay away from emergency rooms. If you have reason to believe that you have been or may have been exposed to the COVID-19, you should remain at home. Call 811 for advice and be prepared to self-isolate and monitor your health. Anyone returning from outside of Canada is expected to self-isolate for 14 days. Then it goes back into more reliable information sources, which again we will have in the description of this video. So getting back into what's going on around here. So as of yesterday I walked around Ashcroft and a little bit of Cache Creek. asking how everybody was doing and asking for weekly updates from the local businesses, at least the ones that were open yesterday. And everybody seemed to still be open. Everything was sort of moving forward ahead as normal, but there was a lot of people being cautious and trying to stay separate from one another, which was great. So we hear from the drugstore that their hours are normal and they have no shortages of prescription drugs. Business as usual. At Home Hardware, everything is good. Yesterday, Unitea still had all of their shows going. As of today, they've canceled all of their performances. Across BC, so dentists across BC will no longer be performing elective or non-essential procedures. This profession's regulatory body announced Monday afternoon. The College of Dental Surgeons of British Columbia said that the move was in line with the recommendations from BC and federal officials. Hospitals across BC are canceling elective surgeries across the board this week to free up beds and staff for an expected surge in coronavirus patients in need of acute care. As of 5 p.m. on Monday, March 6th, the Thompson-Nicola Regional District will be closing all of its library locations to the public until further notice. The decision is a result of the rapidly changing situation regarding the COVID-19 virus. And this includes Ashcroft and Cache Creek libraries as well.
Does that mean I'm not going to have to worry about my late fees? I can keep my book for a while longer?
Late fees are doubled.
Oh no!
WestJet has announced a 1-month suspension of international and transborder commercial flights.
Transborder? U.S.?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cineplex says in a news release that it is closing the buildings temporarily out of an abundance of caution until at least April 2nd. The Province of BC Lottery Corporation announced today that BC casinos and community gambling centers will be closed during the ongoing novel coronavirus outbreak.
Thank goodness for Netflix.
Right? Netflix and chill, people. Netflix and chill.
Disney Plus. Yay.
I thought I had another page of that stuff, but I don't. So, right now, that is what's going on.
And I think that our goal, we want to make sure that we can provide you with current and local information so that you know before you leave the house if you can go to the mail or you can go to the grocery store, you can go to the pharmacy, so that we can kind of provide that as up to date as we can get you information that is current and really does actually affect you.
A lot of things that have been said is if you're a non-essential service, you should close your doors, stay home, but things like grocery stores, pharmacies, banks, those are all essential. Those should and will remain open.
And I think we need to make sure that we remember that it's our fellow human beings that are on the other line there. It's, it's our neighbors that are the cashiers, it's our neighbors that are the pharmacists, and we need to be extra gentle with them because they are super stressed to the max. Imagine Christmas times 6 probably.
Right.
Of rushing of everything at the grocery store. So.
Now, despite the fact that the hub itself will be closing the stores to the public, one thing that we have talked about with Vicky Trill is if there are people that are self-isolated that can't get out to go to the grocery store, you can email us. I should put an email thing on here. You can email. You want to talk about that?
Sure. If you, I guess which email should we use?
We'll just use our HON one.
Okay, so HON@ashcrofthub.com, and we can connect you with someone that can get you your groceries or get your prescription, or we'll do it ourselves to help in any way. And again, help your neighbors. If you know you've got an elderly neighbor that you just go check on them and see if there's anything that you can do to help them, or bring them that extra can of soup that you bought at the grocery store yesterday.
Yeah, so email us here. Sorry, 1 second. What? What? If you have something to say, come over here and say it.
Okay, then be quiet.
Then,
Okay?
yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's update. We will be doing this every day, more at 11 o'clock specifically. Sorry about today, we were about 5 minutes late getting going. We had a few technical issues as we were trying to start up. But we're going to be doing this once a day because this is a very fluid situation. Things that were fine yesterday are no longer fine today, so we're going to be looking at that moving forward. And if you have any stories that you would like to tell, again, email us here, and we will pass those stories along, maybe even try and set up some Skype interviews with people that are in self-isolation. So if you have come home from a trip, and now you're going, wow, my God, what's going on? We would actually like to hear what it was like wherever you were. So if you were in Mexico, what's the feeling in Mexico right now? Hawaii, the States, all that kind of stuff. So again, email us here. We can set something up over the next couple of days, and hopefully this passes sooner than later. But it doesn't sound like that's necessarily going to be the case. But all we can say is be safe and wash your hands as much as possible. Stay away from people as best you can. And if you need help, let us know.